let me show you this. This is the famous art from a Dutch artist, Piet Mondrian. His famous artwork is simplistic and using primary colors, and we can see it used in a lot of application today with the shoes, Nike shoes, fashion, and even recently there was a phone that is inspired by the art. But the thing is, I would like to share is that it just for decorative and visual purpose. There's no use about it aside from the visual perspective. But recently, I have been while researching about how to create joy, or how to add joyfulness in design. I came over a book named Funology, From Usability to Enjoyment. In chapter 17, they say from usable enjoyment, information display, and one of the words that catch my eyes is informative art. Now, from the name, you can see that it's art that helps you to be informed. As simple as that, but in more complex definition is they also integrate technologies from AI from computer data that work with the art to display information. And so going through the book, they show how uninteresting the visual is, how information is communicated uninterestingly with their timetable or for transportation, just red text, electronic board, and then there was some effort with putting a computer screen in a tower, but if you look at it, there's still some lacks of aestheticsness. So what they got is that using the Mondrian art, they were able to create this, which is a board that show the email traffic for a company. And so they classify the usage from red mean high traffic, yellow mean little traffic, and then blues mean no traffic at all, which means that person doesn't send email at all. To see if how adaptive the informative art of Mondrian is, they go to a universities and ask a bunch of students to see what information they would like to see, and so they come up with a weather forecast, also using the Mondrian art with from reading left to right, up to down. So this art right here, you can see from left is yellow, blue, yellow, yellow, blue. So it's display the weather within 5 days. So first is yellow. Yellows means sun, and then moving on to the next day, which is the current day for the yellow, and moving on to the blue, it's gonna rain. And also the size is depends on how much of the degrees is shown. And moving down, yellow, small box, but the yellow, this one, sunny, but the temperature is gonna be high. It's gonna be higher than yesterday. And then moving on with blue, the temperature will be higher. There will be no rain, but the temperature will be higher. And so it's very interesting to me is that they explore an area to make it more usable. It's some things that allow people to feel joy. Of course, in their research, they split up into they split the student into two groups. One that give them instruction on how to look at the art itself and how to see the weather. And after the briefing, the students mostly accepted the art, the display informations, and there was some a little bit annoyed by it, but overall the people seems to accept this concept. Now the group of students that wasn't briefed of how this informative art works, they mostly annoyed, but a welcoming one, because they find the art very pleasing. I haven't done reading the whole chapter yet, but which quite hard for me to convey the book. But just really want to say that they find it pleasing. One quote that from the student, they say that from the group that was informed, they say interesting. It transforms something that is uninteresting data to interesting data. But one of the students also says that why not show direct information using graphics on a computer display, like we see on our phones when go to a weather forecast website, the numbers and all that. But what importance about this informative art is not about how effectively or efficiently it shown the informations. So this is a the slide here is a how the art is implemented. Going back to what I was saying, it's not how the art work is shown, but it's the aesthetics that is feel, is the uniqueness of the information itself, allow people to be interested in it, but not overly gimmicky or exaggerated. So I'm gonna read this quote here I got from the conclusion of the chapter. Informative art is not designed to display information in the most efficient way, but rather in a fashion that appeals to people's sense of aesthetics. In general, it does not provide the viewer with extra information, but instead give an overview of summary of some data, etc. That temperature will rise in the coming days, or overview of the email activities in a group. So it shows, I believe, a new view of how something that is decorative now have a more meaningful functions that makes our environment more aesthetics, more pleasing or not. I mean it depends on the viewer, but it's allow us humans to think, to explore more possibilities rather than just rely on traditional graphics to see data. Yeah, this is not a good communication from my part, but I really want to put my view out there, because this is what I just discovered about using informative art, which really excite me, how you can make uninteresting things into interesting aspect with a touch of real art, which makes it extremely joyful and fun. Okay, that's the end of me for now. If I find it interesting, I will share some more.